Augustine Nwanguma is a dynamic minister of God, anointed to spread the fragrance of God's love around the world. His ministry has totally changed and transformed so many lives.
Your hope is not lost. Your hope, your future is not lost. Your future, you can still dream again. You can still hope again. But how would you do this? By connecting to the heartbeat of God.
He is a graduate of Victoria Bible Institute, Tulsa, Oklahoma, and Potter's House School of Ministry. He lives in Dallas, Texas, from where he reaches the world. Welcome to the show, Minister Austin.
Thank you, Mr. Barron.
So, Minister Austin, I want to ask you, what do you do when you get up first thing in the morning?
Wow, what I usually do is I love praying.
Okay.
After praying, I study the Bible. After studying the Bible, I speak a word of prophecy, positive word concerning my life, how I want my day to be like.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, Minister Austin, why the heartbeat?
Wow, the heartbeat. Because in fact, it all came one night. I was asking God. I said, God, I want to make a difference in my generation. How do I make a difference in my generation? And that's where this heartbeat came. Because it's an inspiration that God gave to me, that I have to write about this heartbeat. So about this habit. And why about this habit? Because I want to make a difference in our generation, because we're in the society, in a generation that is filled up with a lot of racial discrimination, with a lot of terrorism. You know, I was like, God, well, how do I bring a solution? Because each and every one of them, each and every now and then, I usually ask myself, how do I bring a solution? How can I make myself to be a solution to problem that we are facing, the world or generational problem we are facing? And that was how this very book was released to me, in order to bring a solution to all these racial discriminations we are having and terrorism and everything.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know, they say if you are not part of the solution, then you are part of the problem.
That's what it is.
So in that case, what inspired you to write this book?
Well, yeah, what inspired me to write this book is just exactly, what I said before about, because in fact, what really inspired me is because I wanted to let my story. Yeah. I want to share my story. I want to let people know, what I went through to become what I am today, and also to bring a solution to the challenges we are facing in our generation, like discrimination, terrorism, and just to bring a solution. And what's that solution? To bring love and unity. So these are what that inspired me, to write this book, so that I can be a solution to a world problems. Wow. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
As I was reading your book, I came across some chapters.
Yes, sir.
And I can feel how spiritually you are. And not only that, you are being inspired by some authors.
Yes, sir.
So what kind of books do you read?
Oh, some books like by Bishop T.D. Jakes, his other book, Instinct.
Yeah, Instinct.
You have to follow your instinct. I was like, my instinct, I have to. So these are books I read. I read Instinct, and not only that, I read the book about purpose by Dr.
Miles Monroe.
I read that book, and also the book from Joe Austin. Yes, you can. Because there's a point in time that you want to give up. You think maybe all what you needed to survive is not in you. Yes. But that book says, yes, you can. You can. So these are books I read, that enable me to, to fulfill my dreams,
Wow.
Yeah.
Also, so I was looking at your book, and if we turn into page 41, it talks about you being concerned about the current Boko Haram crisis in Nigeria, how it affected your life, and how you decided to take up that like a challenge to make a difference. So through that, I read directly from the book. It says, I have a serious concern about the brutality against Christians perpetrated by Boko Haram Islam sect in Nigeria. Christians are being massacred in numbers by this deadly group. My word is that irrespective of the differences, our religion, skin color, and background, God wants us to shed our sword and embrace His love. That is so profound. So can you tell me more about your experience growing up witnessing the Boko Haram crisis in North Nigeria?
Yeah, also Baron. In fact, it wasn't very easy, So that experience, I could remember my parents had me in this city called Boko. So, and in this Boko is the name of a city where Boko Haram is being initiated, where Boko Haram is being formed. So, and they had me in that city, and immediately they had me in that city, there was a riot, killing of Christians.
Wow.
Murdering Christians, bombing their churches. But what happened is, and in that very point, I was a baby, so I was experiencing all. It wasn't very easy that my parents had to took me and flee out of the city. Then after a while, they came back to the city because that was where I was breeded. So throughout my experience there, I was able to see how Christians are being murdered. Their churches will be burnt. People, even at the point, some Christians they rape their preachers' wives, and not only that, they can even cut men manhood because of your belief. So these are what I was saying. Well, in this very point, in this very state, I feel so scared of my life. I was so scared of my dream. I was so scared of my vision. And not only that, I was still in this very state. I lost my dad. My dad went and be with the Lord. And remember, when one mentions about father is a man, is a person that gives identity to his son or to his daughter. So father is as an indication of a protection in the family. But now, when I lost my dad that I so much love with all my heart, and he loves me too. When I lost him, man of God, I was so scared because there was no protection. Yeah. I felt hurt. And not only that, I was also being isolated. So these are my experiences until when I connected to the heartbeat of God,
Wow.
So that was just this.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is so profound.
Yeah.
I mean, from your experience with the Boko Haram, did your father die as an encounter with the Boko Haram, or did he die a natural death? Was he sick?
Oh no, it was a natural death.
Oh, okay.
So it wasn't like the attack of the Boko, because in the midst of that, because we are there on a special assignment. On God's heartbeat,
yes.
Because there's always the protection in God's heartbeat. So even in as much as we are there, God's heartbeat got us covered, so we are protected in the midst of all this. Even when other people are relocating as a result of this, but we never relocate because we know we are on a special assignment, because we are there to fulfill a purpose, to preach the gospel of the kingdom. And as we are doing that, God's hand was on us, to protect us in the midst of all this.
Wow.
Yeah.
Also, Minister Austin, in your book, you talk more of worship, you talk of love, and you talk of service. I think those were some 3 points that you highlighted and elaborated, giving different scenarios on your experience with the divine, through this. So I want to ask you, what if I have to read this book, an ordinary person out there who hasn't read the book already, if there's that one thing that I'll walk away after reading this book, what would that be?
Oh, that in the midst of life challenges, in the midst of your circumstances, that you can still dream again, that you can still hope again. If only you can connect to the force that drives the universe. If only we can have an intimate relationship with God, that we can fulfill whatever we want to be in life, that God will enable us to fulfill. So that's one thing that I know for sure that you will accomplish in this book. And not only that, in addition to that, it will enable us to know, I entitled that the Trinity of man, your body, your soul, your spirit. God wants us to be one, because you cannot give up what you don't have. In as much as we want unity, love in our generation, but if our individual self we are not united, if my body, my soul, my spirit are not united, there's no way I can give out unity or give out love out there. So at the end of this very book, it will enable us to know what it is to be united as a whole, as a human.
Wow.
Yeah, and in order to reflect that in the world.
Wow.
Yeah.
And another profound thing that I found in this book is, Minister Austin, the world, we are all here for purpose.
Yes, sir.
We are all here to impact this world in one way or the other, to bless this universe with the abundance that God has deposited in us.
Yes, sir.
That is, we have gifts that God has blessed us. Yours is through writing.
Yes, sir.
And now you're able to bless the world through writing.
Yes, sir.
And you've written this book, and I know there are 10, 20, 40, 50,
Oh, yes, sir.
about 60 or 100 more books in there
Yes,
to
sir.
deliver to the world.
Yes, sir.
And a lot of people die without realizing their purpose. And I think this book is coming in the right time. It's really coming out in the right time,
Yes, sir.
where we see all the chaos going out in the world. And I think the content in this book can shape a destiny.
Yes, sir.
So in that context, you wrote something very, very unique. I think that is page 56 of this book.
Yes, sir.
Let's see. Let me just be
sir.
sure we are right.
Okay, sir.
Okay, yeah, page 56. I think you talk about Ted's experience with the divine when Ted actually touched the wall and discovered there was a flow of current.
Yes, sir.
He tried to explain that to the mom. The mom did not believe.
Yes, sir.
Till the point where the mom stretches forth her hand and touched that wall, and she experienced that flow of current.
Yes, sir.
And you related that with the divine
Yes.
and with the heartbeat. Can you explain that more?
Wow. So that's chapter 7 of the book.
Okay.
And the title of it is Hook Up.
Okay.
So you have to hook up. So in fact, the point I'm trying to bring out there is the power of contact, the power of connection. That when we connect with something that is bigger than us, when we connect with something that can enable us to fulfill our dream, you know. So that's all about the book, the power of connection. So in that book we talked about hookup, that we have to connect, have a heart to heart with God. So it's not all about us. So we have to connect our heart with God's heart in order for us to tap in the heavenly resources, because God is God's will that we might be successful. It's God's will that we might fulfill our purpose. It's God's will for we might be prosperous. But for us to to embrace or to receive all God have for us, we have to connect, have a hookup. We have to connect. It's a personal hookup. I cannot connect for you, but you have to connect it for yourself. And that's what the book is saying, that if God can do that, that everybody can do that. That in this season that God wants us to connect. And when we hook up with God, guess what? We receive His ability. Not only we receive God's ability, we receive God's life. Not only we receive God's life, we receive God's promises and favor, because we have hooked up. We have connected with the heartbeat of God. Yeah,
That is so wonderful. You have read books.
Yes, sir.
You've been inspired. You're a minister. You go out and you preach to people.
Yes, sir.
So, why did you become an author? You preach.
Yes, sir.
So why did you decide to become an author?
Okay, why I really become an author? Because I was like asking myself, because I didn't want to just come and just live a life without no legacy. Because I'm asking myself, well, if I'm no longer in this world, how can I be remembered?
Okay.
How can my children, how can my generation, how can I be remembered? These are the questions I've been asking myself. And I found that the solution to it is to write a book.
Wow.
To write a book to make a difference. A book that will bring unity in our society. Not only unity, a book that will bring love in our society. Not only love, a book that will command heavenly blessings upon our life. So that was the reason why I wrote this book, to make a difference and to bring love and unity. And guess what? The Bible says in the book of Psalm 133, it says, behold, how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity. For in such a place of unity, God, heaven, command His blessing. Because I want heaven to command His blessing upon our generation. So these are what inspired me to write this book, to be an author. Yeah.
You know, Minister Austin, is very, very important to write a book, and you just sparked something in my brain, and I'm remembering one of the books I read on this same topic. And it talks about the reason why we should write a book. In the midst of these discrepancies, you know, in school, actually, we pay teachers to interpret books to us.
Yes, sir.
Books written by other authors. That's exactly what we go to school for, because we are probably lazy enough to educate ourselves. So we go pay tutors, teachers to interpret books, because school is just a combination of books interpreted by tutors.
Yes, sir.
So if the only way to allow a legacy, your idea on earth, is to write it through a book. And that is exactly what you're doing.
Yes.
Because through this, your children's children will be remembered.
Yes, sir.
Through the heartbeat, your thoughts will never be wiped out from this universe.
Amen.
And I mean, you're taking a very diverse path in life.
Yes, sir.
This is a very scary journey.
Yes, sir.
I mean, a lot of people are very, very scared to ride.
Yes.
It's not an easy task.
It's not.
I mean, I respect this. You know what I'm saying?
thank you,
I respect this, and I know it is not by your will. It's by the blessing of God upon your life.
Yes, sir.
This is a revelation from God.
Yes, sir.
You know, through you to impact this universe. And I know you are going places.
Amen.
With this book, I mean, after reading this book, I'll tell you that it has adjusted the way my heart used to beat.
Wow.
And I brought out something from this book, and I would like us to try it.
Yes,
a little
sir.
exercise.
Yeah.
Okay. And I would like us to go with this. Okay, stop. Okay, what I learned is when we started,
Yes, sir.
we were having opposite drums.
Yes, sir.
You know, when I hit, you hit. So we were having a disconnect with our beat.
Yes, sir.
And all of a sudden, we discovered that our beat had the same rhythm.
Yes, sir.
And what is that teaching us? I mean, that is the inspiration I drew out of
Yes,
this book.
sir.
And it's making us understand that we are created by the divine
It's true.
God. And He created us so we can function, you know, through His system.
Yes, sir.
And if we function through His system, we shall never derail.
Yes, sir.
And now what happens is the first drum we had, you hitting another beat and I'm hitting another beat.
Yeah.
It says that we are not walking in accordance with God's
It's
beat.
true.
You were representing the divine.
Yes, sir.
And I was representing the opposite. So when I was hitting the drum, was going opposite. Everything was falling apart in my life.
Wow.
I was doing the wrong thing. I was going to the wrong places. I was doing the wrong thing with the wrong people.
That's a revelation right
And
there.
immediately I connected with the heartbeat of God.
Yes, sir.
I noticed that we had the same drum.
Wow.
That is success. Walking in the right path of God. Doing what God is wanting. And definitely success comes through that.
Amen.
So that is how I can explain this book
Yes,
in a
sir.
nutshell.
Yes,
from
sir.
my experience reading it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm sure I'm not off the track.
No, you're not off of the
Okay,
track.
okay.
Because in addition to what you said, because
Okay.
one thing the Bible said that God created male and female.
Okay.
He created all with a purpose. He created, and what is that purpose? The purpose is the heavenly assignment concerning your life.
Okay.
The purpose is the heavenly assignment concerning your life. So He created all with this purpose that He will enable us to fulfill this purpose. And how will He do that? The Bible says in the book of Romans that God predestined our future, that your destiny, what you're gonna be in future, that God have predestined that already. And could you permit me to announce to you that that destiny God have prepared, have predestined for you? That's your heartbeat right there. That's your beat. And once you meet that beat, you messed up your destiny, and that's not the will and purpose of God for us to mess up our destiny. So, and that is why God have what set up that beat.
Wow.
So a heartbeat is a roadmap to your destiny. Heartbeat is a roadmap to your future.
Wow.
Heartbeat is a roadmap to your success. Heartbeat is a roadmap to fulfillment. So it's a beat that has been set for God. We are in a generation where people might love to set their own beat, you know. So, and when they set their own beat, and that's why you find out in our generation where people are having identity crisis, because now they negated the heartbeat that was set for, but that was set for them by God. They negated. They said, no, I have to live by my feeling. I have to live by my emotion. And in that case, it robs them their heartbeat. So, and that's why about the book, God is giving us a second chance that we have to come back to the original plan He has for us. And what is that original plan? The heartbeat of God, in order to enable us to fulfill our purpose, enable us to fulfill our dreams.
Wow. So in that light, Pastor Austin.
Yes, sir.
Minister Austin.
Pastor is okay.
Okay. So I want to say, yeah. So Minister Austin,
Yeah.
what are some of the challenges you faced in the course of producing this book? I know you faced some challenges.
Oh yeah,
Can you share that with
a
us?
lot of challenges. The time came when I started writing it. At times I feel like kind of being discouraged because this is my first time writing. I was like, oh, are you sure this is gonna be a blessing to people, stuff like that? And so that's number one challenges I face. And the other one is when I associate with people, hoping that they will help me to, to make this to be a reality. I find out it's the opposite part of it.
Okay.
So, it's the opposite part of it. So in other ways, in any assignment God have asked you to accomplish, you don't need no help from no mortal. The only help you need is from God. Because when you're depending on mortal to help you to fulfill your dream, your purpose, you're gonna wait forever. So I'm here to charge you up to embark in your ministry, embark in that call which God have called you to do.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So we have the launch of this book coming up, correct? When?
Oh, it's gonna be, oh my goodness, it's gonna be October 21st. Heartbeat International.
Yeah. So, and where is that taking place?
It's taking place in Arlington.
Okay.
611 Houston Street, Arlington, Texas, and everybody is highly welcome.
Okay.
Yes,
so there's no restriction.
There's no restriction.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's why we entitled it Heartbeat International, so that everybody can come, whether you are black or you're brown, you're black, whether irrespective of your race, irrespective of your background, your class, you are highly welcome, because we know it's the place where your heart can ignite with passion. So you can't afford to miss that.
Wow. So where do you fellowship?
I fellowship in one of the best church in the whole world.
Wow.
Potter's House by Bishop T.D. Jakes. So, and this is the place where I was fired up, to write this book. I so much thank God for my Bishop T.D. Jakes, because he's a great man of God that understands the treasure we have on the inside. He's a great man of God that understands the process. There is always a process whenever we want to fulfill our dream, and for that I so much love him so much and the ministry. And could you permit me to let you know that Potter's House to me is a place of fulfillment.
Wow.
It's a place of fulfillment. So writing this book now also is like a testimony that I was able to fulfill that as a result of being in the platform where Bishop is releasing his teaching, not only his teaching, his anointing, So that is yes, sir.
So actually Bishop Jakes is doing an incredible job in the world, impacting, molding, building leaders. And Bishop Jakes, we love you so much. We just want to appreciate what you're doing in our lives, in the life of Brother Austin, with this book titled The Heartbeat, and which will be launched on the 21st of October in Arlington. You've had the address, we'll put it in the link below. So everybody is invited, and the theme is Heartbeat International, which implies no race is restricted. Everybody is invited. Nobody is restricted. And if you don't know your race, even you're still invited. So everybody's invited to this launch. Please come and have a taste of a heartbeat. Reconnect with the heartbeat of God and accomplish that which He made you for. So everybody is invited. Come 21st October.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So also before we go, Minister Austin, is there anything that you want to leave out there to the people?
Yeah.
Anything that you want to say?
Oh, yeah. So to all my viewers out there, I want to let us know that any heart that is connected to God's heartbeat cannot go bankrupt. Any heart that is connected to God's heartbeat can never go bankrupt. And if you are watching this, you have been hurt, you have been isolated, you are facing depression, whatever stage you might find yourself, I'm here to let you know your hope is not lost. Your hope, your future is not lost. Your future, you can still dream again, you can still hope again. But how would you do this? By connecting to the heartbeat, the heartbeat of God. Heartbeat of God. So that's what the word I'm leaving for us, to let us know you can still dream again in spite of your past, in spite of your mistake you've made in the past. You can still dream again, you can still hope again, and the rest of your story will be the best of your story if you can connect to this heartbeat of God. Your life will be transformed beyond measure. Thank you all so much, and I love you all so much.
Minister Austin,
Yes, sir.
you know, you have a very vast platform and thousands and hundreds of people around the world. So the people that live in Australia or maybe some parts of Africa that cannot be able to attend this launch, how do they get a copy of this book?
Oh yeah, that's really a very wise question. So, man of God, I mean, where they can get this book is the book is already in Amazon.
Okay.
It's in Kindle. In fact, the book is all over the world. So the only way they can get it to Amazon or Kindle. You know, and or they can reach out to me. You know, my office here in Arlington, Texas. You know.
Pastor Augustine,
Yes,
we are on Inside the Entrepreneur's Mind.
Yes, sir.
What is going on inside your mind?
Wow, great man of God. That's a very wise and thoughtful question. Yes, what is going on in my mind as an entrepreneur, you know, based on that book? In fact, I want this book to be the #1 selling book in the whole world.
Wow.
I want to have millions of people all around the world, their life to be transformed as a result of this very book. And not only that, more books are coming. More books are coming. I'm thinking of writing my second. In fact, I've started it already.
Wow.
It's not like I'm thinking.
Wow.
I've embarked on that because I'm expecting millions of books that will transform life and bring hope to our generation. Okay, my email is gonna be anwanguma@gmail.com. Let me repeat, anwanguma@gmail.com. Or you can go to my Heartbeat Word page, Heartbeat Word page by Augustine, Pastor Augustine Nwanguma. Thank you all so much, and I love you all so much.
Wow, that's wonderful.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir.
I look forward and I'll be there.
Yes, sir.
Everybody, you're invited 21st October.
Yes,
Don't miss
24.
This. Don't miss this. Potter's House, come out and support your
Yes,
boy.
sir. Yes,
He'll be
sir.
right there.
Yes,
Minister
sir.
Austin, 21st October.
Yes,
Don't
sir.
miss it.
Don't miss it.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Hope you enjoyed the show. Why not click like and subscribe for more positive and inspiring videos that will make you look at life in a more different way. Until next time, stay positive.